What's up, guys? Welcome back to Purb Take. I'm Nico Machurak. I am joined by Jackson Presto and Principal John Saris. And today we're going to be talking about March Madness, previewing it, and giving some predictions. Alright, let's start out with really strong one seeds this year. Duke, #1 overall seed, and then Arizona, Michigan, and Florida to round it out. What are we thinking about them this year?
I think they're all pretty good. If I had to pick one team that I think is a little lesser, I'd say it was definitely Florida.
I could agree with that. I mean, they were on the 2 line all year, and then UConn started losing, Houston lost, and then Florida got that 1 seed. But I think they're all very strong this year. I mean, Florida won it last year. I think they could do it again.
I'm not as confident as you guys when it comes to 1 seeds. The one I do have a lot of confidence in is Michigan. But the other, let's say 2.5, I can get a little bit behind Arizona when it comes to Florida. When it comes to Duke, some question marks. Florida got blown out in the SEC championship tournament.
Semis.
Yes, in the tournament there, Duke has some injuries, so really tough when it comes to those two. Arizona, Big 12, tough conference, ran it through, but let's see if they're able to repeat their effort over the course of the past week.
I mean, Arizona's definitely been the most consistent team all year, especially playing in the Big 12, but they have had some tournament struggles past couple years. They got upset in the first round by Princeton a couple years back, but I think they could turn that around definitely, and I think they can make a solid run this year. And then, like you said, Michigan I'm also very high on. They're just bigger than everyone. They out-physical everyone, and then they could get it done with their guards too.
They were the best team in the country this year, and they played in the best the Big Ten has been in forever.
Yeah,
I'd say. So even though a Big Ten team hasn't won it in a long, long time, I think they have a very good chance.
Yeah, they've definitely looked really strong this year. But speaking of looking pretty strong, the East region is an absolute gauntlet this year. You got Duke headlining it, you got UConn at the bottom, you got Michigan State, you got Kansas, you got St. John's. All 5 of those teams are, well, John Shire's getting there, but the other 4 are led by very historical, well-known coaches. And I think that, there's going to be some very good games in that region.
I agree. Like you said, you have Duke, UConn, Michigan State, Kansas, St. John's, and even throw in UCLA as a storied program when it comes to basketball. So 6 strong, storied college basketball programs, good coaches. I'm a huge fan of Danny Hurley and his antics and how he acts.
He's a bit nuts.
He is. You look at a potential second-round game with UCLA, him and Mick Cronin as coaches.
Might be a fight.
It might be a fight between the 2 coaches. Maybe that's how they decided. But again, a very difficult bracket when you look at the storied programs that come out of that region.
Yeah, you look at the East region, but then you look at other regions that are just, in my opinion, significantly weaker. Like the Midwest region, like the Iowa State, the 2 seed, they're solid, but like the 3 seed being Virginia, and then you compare that to the East region with what Duke has to potentially play. And I just feel like the committee should reward the #1 overall seed a little bit more than they did. So a little bit of controversy there, but there always is. It's March Madness.
That's why we do it.
Yep, you have a point. All right, going off of favorites and 1 seeds, moving on to some upset picks. I'll start. I am a big fan of South Florida taking down Louisville. I think they have a very good inside presence. I think they rebound well, and they get up and down the court, and I think Louisville's going to struggle against them.
Now, I have a pod that potentially could be filled with upsets. It's in the West. It's the bottom half of the bracket. I think there could be a potential of a lot of upsets coming out of there. One fact, I did my research. Since 2012, at least 1 team out of the playing games has made it to the Sweet 16.
I did see that.
Yes, 2012 and last year. What was started in 2012, 2019, and last year were the first years out of those teams. So that's the bottom half of that bracket. I can see some upsets.
Definitely.
Themselves out.
Even Miami is a 7 seed, but they're, in my opinion, I think the strongest 7 seed. they've been a very good team all year, and I think they could shock Purdue in the second round, in my opinion.
See, what about Miami of Ohio?
Miami, Ohio, playing team. Maybe they make the Sweet 16, take down SMU tonight.
I mean, that's the story that I'm rooting for, I'll tell you. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
I agree. I mean, it's always good to see a team like that just be perfect in the regular season. It sucks they lost in the first round of their conference, but to get an opportunity in March as a small school without winning your conference is pretty sick.
When will this podcast go live?
I don't know.
Probably today. Maybe
Today or tomorrow.
maybe tomorrow.
If it's tomorrow, Miami of Ohio could be out by then.
They could.
They could be, but
Yes,
they
sir.
could be in.
They could be either way.
Yep. Other upsets I like he said, there's some sub-regions where there could be some shakiness, and I like that Midwest region where Akron and Texas Tech are playing, and then Hofstra and Alabama are playing. Texas Tech's without their best player, one of the best players in the country, JT Toppin. I think Akron could potentially just shoot him out of the gym. And then Hofstra in Alabama, Alabama's beat up without Aiden Holloway, one of their star players. I think I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying there's opportunities for it to happen.
Some action this year.
Yeah.
Lots of MAC teams going around. Akron, did they win a game a few years? No, they were in it, though.
They have been in it the past 3 years, but yet to win one. I think this is the year they could do it, though. They got a favorable matchup.
I have two others for you. VCU and McNeese.
Yeah.
Is that gentleman still with the radio?
Yeah, Amir Khan. I think he's still McNeese.
Don't they have a new coach, though?
They do. They have a new coach because Will Wade went to NC State.
NC State, and then the manager was going to go with him, and he didn't, and he's still.
Yeah.
So he's still at McNeese?
He's still McNeese.
I cannot wait. Yes. We should have brought that out. Maybe moving forward, Sweet 16 Final Four podcast, we can bring in a big radio, put it here for.
Yeah.
So two other ones that I potentially could see.
I don't know. I mean, McNeese, they did it last year against Clemson, but I think Vandy is. They're pretty hot right now. They just blew out Florida.
True.
And but it's March Madness. Anything can happen. But
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I think Vandy's guards can handle McNeese. But any other upsets you got?
University of Pennsylvania. I think they could. I don't know if you seen clips from the Ivy League championship. They have this guy. I think his last name's Power.
Yeah, TJ Power.
He shoots
35.
the lights out.
Yeah, and that's all you need in March. Just one guy to get hot and. Again, Illinois is solid. Very good.
Illinois is very good. I think it would be a hard upset to do, but I think it's a fun team.
Yeah, out of 14, 15, and 16 seeds, you'd never really see those, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Penn over Illinois for sure. Moving on, what do we think about everyone's Final Fours? What do we like here?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, all you.
So out of the East, I have Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very popular pick when you look at Duke. St. John's 19-1 in their last 20, and UConn coming out of that bracket, that region. I like Kansas. Bill Self, he's a winner in March, so I can see that one. You move down to the Midwest. When we look at the Midwest, I like Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michigan's strong. I don't think that bracket, as you mentioned, is very strong either. So I think Michigan makes it through. You jump over to the South. I'm a big fan of Houston.
Yeah.
If they get there, an Elite Eight game to go to the Final Four, that'll be in Houston.
Okay. Home court advantage.
A little bit.
Home court, yeah.
Home court advantage, so I can see Houston coming through. And also in the West, I like Arkansas.
Yeah, they're besides St. John's, they're probably the hottest team in the country. And
yes.
As past few years have shown, if you're coming into the tournament winning, you're probably going to keep winning. So, I could agree with that.
You agree with it?
I could agree with it.
We'll find
couple
out.
parts.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't agree with the East region. I got Duke coming out of the East. I just think, there's a lot of tough teams in there, but when you look at matchups, there's just not another team in that region that has a Cam Boozer. And I just think he is going to will them to the Final Four and potentially a national championship. The West region, though, Arkansas looks good. Arizona looks good. That's going to be a very good Sweet 16 matchup if that happens.
Yes.
But probably whoever wins that game makes the Final Four for me. I'm not too sure on what I'm going to pick.
Oh,
yet.
must be nice. Well, you're not going to pick one?
We're just taking two teams.
We can take two teams. Who your Final Four?
If I had to pick one, I'd take Arizona.
Okay.
Just because of their depth. on the Midwest, I like Michigan. I think they're going to run through that region. I just think they're better than everyone. They're going to out-physical everyone. And then the South region, it's probably the second best region. You got Florida, who is one of the weaker one seeds, but that Sweet 16 matchup potentially between Illinois and Houston, I think the winner of that moves on to the Final Four and beats Florida in the Elite Eight. So I think it's going to be Houston. So Duke, Houston, Arizona, and Michigan. 3 1 seeds, but there were 4 last year, so.
I'd agree with most of yours, but out of the East, I'm taking St. John's. I think they struggled last year a little bit in the tournament, but I think, more experience. Their guards are good. I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, they have, I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
But I do like Michigan, Arizona, and Houston.
Yeah. I think, St. John's, Zuby Ejiofor, their big man, is probably the best player in the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just beat the crap out of UConn in the Big East Championship.
They've beat UConn 2 out of 3 times this year.
Yeah.
So, unless they meet them again, I might take UConn in that, but I also might take St. John's, so I don't know. But
I can't believe
I like how you guys are so wishy-washy.
yeah, we like to take both, sit on the fence a little,
Yeah.
Final 4, but you guys have potential 6. Why don't you just call them the potential 6?
I
gave
go
you,
for-
I
I
gave you
give
my
you 4
4.
teams.
I gave you my 4.
But you said it could be UConn, could be St. John's.
I'm taking St. John's. I'm saying it right
Okay.
now. They're gonna
Yeah.
win. They're gonna be in the Final Four.
I can't believe they put them in the same region because the committee usually likes to look for games that haven't been played yet this year, and potentially UConn and St. John's could play 4 times.
Yes.
It's kind
And
of crazy.
I think they could have I think all the teams in the bracket are fair. I don't think anyone got snubbed that should have been in that didn't get in, but the way they seeded teams and put teams in regions, I think could have been a lot better.
That's another great coaching matchup. Hurley, Patino.
Yeah, I mean you can
Okay.
get a lot of them in that region.
Mm.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap it up? Anything? National champions, who you got?
Michigan over Houston.
Michigan over Houston.
I'd like to take Michigan. I'd agree with that. I think they've been the best team in college basketball this year. So
I'm gonna go with Duke over Michigan. Like I said, Cam Boozer, best player in the country. And yeah, that's it. Another episode of Purb Take. Thank you guys for listening. Once again, I'm Nico Machurak, joined by Jackson Presto and Principal John Saris. Thank you guys for listening. See you next time.